Asian Paints Woodtech Emporio PU is a high-performance two-component polyurethane wood finish which offers a spectacular mirror-like finish for your interior wooden surfaces. It is a quick-drying PU which exhibits exceptional anti-yellowing and durability properties, protecting your wood from scratches and stains for years to come. It is available in a luxurious glossy variant as well as a rich matte variant. Moreover, the finish is available in clear as well as a range of pigmented finishes including blacks and whites. Asian Paints Woodtech Emporio PU is manufactured and packaged in Italy. Product features: faster turnaround time. Asian Paints Woodtech Emporio PU takes only half the time for painting as compared to regular PUs. Excellent scratch resistance. Asian Paints Woodtech Emporio PU has the best scratch, stain and heat resistance in the PU finishes category. Mirror-like finish. Asian Paints Woodtech Emporio PU has high clarity of image, leading to a reflection similar to that seen in a mirror. Abrasion resistance. Asian Paints Woodtech Emporio PU has the highest film hardness, making this product very durable. Product specifications. Coverage. The coverage rate is about 80 to 90 square feet per liter per coat. Method of application. Spraying. Drying time. Tack-free time 30 minutes. Recoating time 2 to 3 hours. Recoating must be done within 72 hours. Mixing ratio. Mix Emporio Clear Sealer with hardener in the ratio 2:1 by weight and thin it with 15 to 30% of Asian Paints Woodtech PU thinner. Mix Asian Paints Woodtech Emporio PU matte top coat with hardener in the ratio 2:1 by weight and thin it with 15 to 30% of Asian Paints Woodtech PU thinner for a matte finish. Maturation time. Unlike Indian PUs, there is no maturation time which is required for Woodtech Emporio PU. Stability of thinned paint. Use within 3 hours post-mixing. Gloss level. 90 to 95% in gloss finish. 20 to 25% in matte finish. Application process. Before starting with the application process, do ensure that you are wearing the necessary safety equipments. Start cleaning the wooden surface by sanding it with sandpaper number 180. Mix Woodtech Emporio Clear Sealer base with Emporio hardener in a ratio 2:1 by weight and thin it with 15 to 30% of Asian Paints Woodtech PU thinner. Remember to use the mixture within 3 hours of mixing. Apply 2 to 3 coats of the mixture on the surface by spraying, allowing a drying period of 3 to 4 hours in between each coat. Leave the surface for drying overnight. Sand the coated surface with sandpaper numbers 320 or 400. Next, mix WoodTech Emporio Top Coat Clear with hardener in the ratio 2:1 by weight for matte finish and 1:1 for glossy finish. Then thin with Asian Paints WoodTech PU thinner in the recommended amounts. Use the mixture within 3 hours from mixing. Spray 2 coats of the mixture on the surface, allowing a drying period of 3 to 4 hours in between each coat. Once the surface is dry, do remember to sand the surface lightly with sandpaper numbers 320 or 400 in between each intermediary coat. Ensure that the recoating is done each time within 72 hours of applying the previous coat. Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU versus competitor product. Butyl acetate test and MEK solvent test. This test is used to highlight the superior resistance of Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU towards the chemicals like butyl acetate and MEK solvent, which are present in common household cleaners. The test result clearly shows that the competitor surface is affected much more than the surface coated with Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU. Stain resistance test. We compare the stain resistance of Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU with its competitor product by first using ballpoint ink, followed by a permanent marker. We see that the stains are cleaned much more easily on the WoodTech Emporio PU panel than on the competitor product panel. Cigarette butt test. We conducted the cigarette butt test on the panels coated with Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU and its competitor by putting out a cigarette butt on each of the panels. This is done to check the impact of heat on the surfaces. We see that the burn mark left on the competitor panel is much more than that on the Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU panel. Cross-cut adhesion test. A cross-shaped cut mark is made on each of the comparative product panels. And then we try to peel off the chipped paint using a masking tape. The panel coated with Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU exhibits lower chipping and peeling, which clearly implies that Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU has a much better adhesion than its competitor. Sheen test. The sheen level of a finished wooden surface is measured using a glossometer. The higher glossometer reading for Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU denotes a higher sheen when compared to the competitor product. Application tips. A few useful tips that would give a better finish. Always mix the base and the hardener in glass, plastic or enamel containers. Refrain from using lesser than the recommended quantity of hardener, as that could lead to improper curing, leaving the surface soft and vulnerable. At the same time, do not add excess hardener, since the film can become brittle and crack. Stir the paint and the thinned mixture well prior to application. Use between 150 to 180 grams per square meter of paint per coat. Do not pollute Asian Paints WoodTech Emporio PU with oil, varnish or the likes. Mix matte and glossy finishes to obtain the desired sheen levels. Ensure that the storage and application is done in well-ventilated areas. Note The base and the hardener are to be consumed within 1 week of opening the seal.